haven't seen a red light yet. Oh, there it goes.
Should I just pot it down? always a special night, and I would like to get things going here. I'd like to call up Lieutenant Terry Curtis. He will have the presentation of the colors, and we'll do the pledge of allegiance. Terry, if you will.
Can everybody hear me okay? Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for being here tonight. I just want to take a quick moment to say congratulations to all of the inductees. It's going to be such a special evening tonight, a lot of fun. Hear some great stories, I'm sure. Have some good dinner tonight. So here in just a moment, I'm going to ask you all to please stand. We'll have the Medford Police Department honor guard. Not yet. Oh, hold on. All right, I know we're in a hurry, but in a moment. I'm just kind of letting you know because the last time I did this, I did tell everybody to stay standing for Pastor Mike David's invocation. So once the honor guard has posted the colors, please remain standing so we can get the invocation. So hey, let's get it started. Please stand, everybody.
Getting old.
Color guard. Forward. March. Color guard. Halt. Left. Feet. Freeze. Head. On.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yellow order. On. Post. Left. Feet. Forward. March.
That was pretty sharp. 8-year-old black tornado. There you go. That's my case.
All right. First, I just would like to say thank you for the honor of coming tonight. So thank you, Terry, and the committee for the Hall of Fame to invite me back again to give the opening prayer for the night. Because again, in my 67 plus years here in the Valley, a lot of you guys in this room has blessed me and my family, and I just want to say thank you as we get started. So if you bow your heads and just pray with me. Father, thank you for your love and blessings that you pour out on us here tonight. We thank you for all the gifts and the talent, the opportunities that you so freely give to so many in our community. We thank you for the honorees tonight, that we might celebrate their accomplishments and legacies and that have blessed and inspired so many here in our community. We thank you for their talents and opportunities that not only blessed them, but made our lives that much richer in the process. We ask for your blessing on those honored tonight, along with their family and friends, and I'm sure the honorees would say that contribute so much to their success. We pray that the legacy of these honored tonight might continue to motivate, bless, and inspire future athletes, coaches, and ADs and contributors to our sports family here in the community. We thank you for those who have worked so hard to make this night possible. We ask that you might bless them along with the wonderful meal that has been prepared for us tonight. Now, Lord, may you bless the rest of this evening. May everything that's said and done tonight show our thankfulness for these good gifts and talents in the moment that we have to enjoy them. I as your word says, every good and perfect gift comes from above, from you, the Father of lights. And in your name we pray tonight. Amen. Amen.
You can be seated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Oh no. I need you guys in it. Gary. Mark.
So we're getting you started off tonight. I just want to make a couple of remarks before we get to the
One more.
Just a brief history on the Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame was created in 1985. It was part of the centennial celebration for the city of Medford, and the powers that be decided that they wanted to have a sports banquet kind of to end up the celebration of the 100 years of the city of Medford. And there's definitely a reason for that. This is a community that values sports. So that was, the city asked Coach Spiegelberg to be the person that was going to be chair of the entire event. And Thomasine Smith had a conversation with Coach Spiegelberg, and she said that she would take over and chair our committee. I was the linebacker president at that time, so they asked me to be a part of the program, part of the committee, which I accepted. And so she is really responsible for the format and the continuation of the Hall of Fame. After that induction, the city of Medford asked the linebackers if they would be the custodian of the Hall of Fame. And they asked us to do two things. They asked us to continue the induction procedure, and they asked us to find a permanent home for the Sports Hall of Fame. Here we are 37 years later. We do not have a permanent home. We've tried several different venues. It's been a struggle at times, but we're here, and we're here tonight to celebrate another 11 exceptional people who have contributed to the sports community. There are indications that we may have a permanent home in the near future. That will be announced at a later time if it's going to happen. I've been here for 37 years. It's been a distinct pleasure of mine, and I'm honored and humbled that people that come forward during an induction to make sure that this continues. I think it's extremely important to continue. I read an article 2 years ago that said that 24% of the high schools in the United States have no sports program. I find that to be a little disturbing, particularly when 56% of a recent poll of kids in high school said their #1 extracurricular activity should be sports. So I think we've got enough people that it will continue. But I think this particular Hall of Fame must continue. I don't know any other Hall of Fame that has the talent and the outstanding individuals here. I'm just going to mention a few. You have Bill Byerman, created probably one of the strongest brands in the world, if at least a sporting brand. It's worldwide, Nike. Bill Byerman was in the 1985 charter member induction. You have Dick Fosbury. Started out as a high jumper. He revolutionized an Olympic sport by changing the process of clearing the bar with the Fosbury flop. People like Danny Miles, the 4th most wins of any basketball coach in the history of college basketball. You could go on, and we have that kind of talent that is being inducted tonight. So I thank you for being here, and I thank you for all the support that you give us. And at this point, I'd like to thank the sponsors. Give me a few moments here to get my notes. I'd like to thank the planning committee, Gary Curtis, Debbie DeSoto, Chris Henry, Craig Nips, Gary Miller, Dennis Murphy, Rich Rosenthal, Chuck Ross, Sandy Sherman, and Roland Warner. They've worked hard for about 8 months, and you see the results tonight. You're going to have a very good night. And with that, we'll begin dinner. We'll have some remarks a little later after dinner when we begin the induction process. So tables 1 through 10, please report to the buffet.
You're a coach, or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, guys! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day, and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens, called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
It's Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Gladiator 4x4s or test drive a new 22 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. During Jeep Adventure Days, you'll save big on every new vehicle in stock only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Super.
New phone?
Yeah. With US Cellular, I got to pick any phone that I wanted for free. And I was already a customer.
Any brand? With any size?
Mm-hmm. I got exactly what I wanted. It was great to have so many different options.
New and current customers can get any phone from any brand free, only at US Cellular.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Welcome back, everyone, to Table Rock Sports, live streaming presentation of the 2022 Medford Sports Hall of Fame induction. Hi, everyone. Joe Brett here with Demi DeSoto as Table Rock Sports is just thrilled to be supporting an event that showcases all these great athletes and contributors that have shaped the course of the Medford sports tradition and the Medford sports history. And it's a great one. We have some inductees tonight. You're going to hear some great stories about things you will learn about them that you probably didn't know. Jerry Allen, the voice of the Ducks, is one of the inductees tonight. There was an incredible effort to try to get him to be able to fly down after the UCLA game today. Logistics just could not work out for that, but we have a great video from Jerry that we're going to share with you just a little bit later in the ceremony tonight. The reunion of friends, family for all of these inductees, the interaction amongst themselves in this moment where we're taking a little interlude for dinner right here, but the social aspect, this is just the hierarchy of Medford sports history that is showcased here tonight. The Singler family puts two more inductees in. They pretty much, I've not totaled up the stats for sure, but I've looked through it pretty well. I think the Singlers are the first family of the Medford Sports Hall of Fame now, going all the way back to Rudy. And Bill Sr., our mayor, and Bill and Eddie, and now Kyle and EJ that joined them tonight. That might not be all before it's all said and done. And the sports camaraderie that is in this room tonight. If you're watching, or if you know some of these inductees, or if you know anything about Table Rock Sports, you know we'd love to just showcase all the incredible things that are good about local sports. And we're doing so tonight with this Hall of Fame induction ceremony, and we're glad to bring it to you live. So we're going to just kind of bring the audio down for a little bit, and we'll be back 6:40. We're due to hear from our guest speaker here tonight, who is Jessica Pistole, the head coach of the SOU National Champions softball team, ×2. Just going to be a great opportunity to hear from a coach that's also creating opportunities for local players to go down there and be a part of a great program. OIT has a great women's softball program as well. So shout out to the local Diamond community that has got such a strong tradition. But that as it may be, we'll be back about 6:40 with Jessica Pistole, and then we will be sharing the inductees for you, and some great stories and some great presenters that will set the stage for a really memorable night here at the Rogue Valley Country Club. Kind of strange to look out the windows and see showers and cloudy skies out there. It's been such a beautiful October for our fall sports, especially our outdoor sports. But tonight we're indoors, and the camaraderie and the fellowship is going to rule the night. We're going to share it all with you here on Table Rock Sports, and we're glad you all could be here as well. Demi DeSoto will be your host as we go forward, and there's really not much for us to do once Coach Pistole is brought to the podium. You'll just see the straight-on coverage of our event tonight here too, as we can't wait to bring it all to you, and thrilled that we're able to be here tonight. Take a little time out right now. We will return at 6:40. You'll hear from some of the great sponsors that have made this opportunity to present this live stream tonight to you, including our great friends at Travel Medford and the Southern Oregon Sports Commission, of which I'm a proud member of, the SOSC Commission, and the Know Your Role campaign. We're going to learn more about that now. Stay tuned. Coverage of the 2022 Medford Hall of Fame Sports Induction Ceremony continues after this.
You're a coach, or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, guy! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day, and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens, called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Dear Dad, today was hard. You know how much I love you, and you know how much I love sports. I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love to play, and I love my team. I want us both to enjoy the game, win or lose. But we can't if you always lose your temper. I hope you can cheer for me and the other players. It's about more than just the score. It's about us all enjoying the experience. I hope you can join me for my next game. I really want you to be there. Love, Katie.
Welcome back to our 2022 coverage of the Medford Sports Hall of Fame Induction Ceremony. Table Rock Sports, in conjunction with the Medford Parks Foundation, and the Medford Sports Hall of Fame Committee. Thrilled to have you along tonight with us. You know, these live streams of all of the athletic events that we do, Table Rock Sports produced over 500 live high school sporting events in the 2021-22 season throughout the state of Oregon, including over 40 state championship events for the OSAA and the NFHS network. We also have some incredible coverage that is made possible locally by our great sponsors. And we're going to hear from some more of them right now, including Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less. They've been title sponsors, they've been sponsors with us since the opening gun in 1995 when we started our radio broadcasts with the Medford School District. Lithia Jeep Chrysler Dodge is our title sponsor, and Jason Lawrence, a shout out to you. You have many friends in the room here tonight. Sherm's, though, a sponsor of ours all the way back to 1995, and we're glad to have them along, including the great folks at Pinnacle 365. The folks that make all of these live streams possible for all folks and all the fans that enjoy them. Let's hear from them. We'll continue here, and Jessica Stoll is just a few minutes away.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first-name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do, and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Fuel up for your race day adventures with Pinnacle 365. Pit for your early morning caffeine fix to help you get off to a good start and be rewarded with free motivation. Stay hydrated as you ride into Turn 2. And if fountain drinks are your thing, get your 6th free. Add Crunch to your lunch as you head into Turn 3. Fuel up for the remainder of the race with your Peak Rewards app and save at least 16 cents a gallon. Your daily journey to the winner's circle starts at Pinnacle 365.
You do when you don't know the first step in applying for Social Security disability? It's easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with crispy, crunchy chicken's mouth-watering chicken and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
There's a time machine that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel.
Medford Sports Hall of Fame Committee, the Medford Parks and Recreation Foundation, and Table Rock Sports welcome you again to our coverage of tonight's induction ceremony. Great to have you along, great sponsors that make it all possible. Glad to share a few of their messages with you. When we get into the heart of our program here, just a little bit ahead, we will be focused on that fully, and we'll have all of our inductees, all of our speakers coming to you live here tonight from the Rogue Valley Country Club. And appreciation to the staff and all the folks here at RVCC in the banquet room and in the banquet facilities, because they have been great partners in getting us set up and helping us be able to share this great event with you.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? Or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
It's Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Gladiator 4x4s or test drive a new 22 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. During Jeep Adventure Days, you'll save big on every new vehicle in stock only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Super.
Welcome back to Table Rock Sports coverage of the 2022 Medford Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. We're really thrilled to have Vista Utilities be a longtime sponsor of ours. Many of you folks who are watching this live or after the fact will know Steve Vincent, the regional director for Vista Utilities. Such a great community partner in so many ways. And Vista Utilities for a long time has just found it in their heart to help us bring you our sports broadcasts and great events like these. And also, we're really thrilled that the Thomason Hospitality Group and Tap Rock Sports Bar and Grill are also partners in our Grants Pass base up there. Well, I tell you, that is now the new meeting place for Table Rock Sports when we have Grants Pass meetings that we need to take care of. And just another great community supporter, community sponsor, and some of the great folks that we'd like to give some recognition to before we start the ceremony tonight by giving you a chance to check out their messages and ads.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Come enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit us.
Dear Dad, today was hard. You know how much I love you, and you know how much I love sports. I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love to play, and I love my team. I want us both to enjoy the game, win or lose. But we can't if you always lose your temper. I hope you can cheer for me and the other players. It's about more than just the score. It's about us all enjoying the experience. I hope you can join me for my next game. I really want you to be there. Love, Katie.
Those folks that haven't eaten yet, go right ahead.
Greetings to our sports fans and all of those celebrating the Medford Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony tonight. Some more words from our sponsors coming up, make all this great coverage possible, including the good folks at Travel Medford, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission, and our title sponsors. Lithia's Superstore, Jason Lawrence, shout out to you, big time. Michael Campbell at Siskiyou Cellular. Some of our great allies that help us provide this great coverage and all the sporting events that happen as well. Back after this.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? Or discovering a place that feeds your hunger? Where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
It's Jeep Adventure Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Gladiator 4x4s or test drive a new 22 Ram 1500 Crew Cab 4x4. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. During Jeep Adventure Days, you'll save big on every new vehicle and stock only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Welcome back to our coverage of the 2022 Medford Sports Hall of Fame induction. Shout out to Jeff Rogers and Tiffany Wilkerson and the great group at John L. Scott. You see their name on all of our Table Rock Sports scoreboards for the great sporting events we share with everyone. And the reason we're able to share those sporting events with everyone is great sponsors like John L. Scott. Jeff, couldn't do it without you. Appreciate you very, very much. Back after this.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Dear Dad, today was hard. You know how much I love you, and you know how much I love sports. I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love to play, and I love my team. I want us both to enjoy the game, win or lose. But we can't if you always lose your temper. I hope you can cheer for me and the other players. It's about more than just the score. It's about us all enjoying the experience. I hope you can join me for my next game. I really want you to be there. Love, Katie.
Our thanks to Travel Medford and the Southern Oregon Sports Commission. That important messaging that's getting out there for the Know Your Role campaign. We'd also like to welcome back Rogue Valley Transportation District, the providers of public transportation throughout Jackson County and the Rogue Valley, and they are continuing to build opportunities for people to be able to get around, get where they need to go, reduce vehicle traffic, all good things that benefit our valley, to attract new employers and new enterprises to the Rogue Valley, and an integral part of our infrastructure here in Southern Oregon. I'd like to recognize them share their new spot with you now.
This is Maya. As an embedded systems engineering student at Rogue Community College, Maya spends a lot of time in the lab, learning circuit design and making great connections with her instructors and classmates. By riding the bus and not owning a car, Maya saves almost $1,000 a month. RVTD helps Maya get to and from class safely and easily, enabling her to invest in her bright future at Oregon Tech. Way to go, Maya!
Let me answer your question. We're continue the program.
wanted to thank the sponsors that make it possible. A lot of them are repeat sponsors, and a few new ones. Just want to make some recognition here. Our title sponsor is Country Financial. Mark Wilkinson and his crew. Thank you very much. I remember Mark when he was a 12-year-old, and he was a shortstop on our Little League All-Star team. And he was a pretty good stick, too. So, thank you, Mark. I appreciate your support. Our presenting sponsor is A+ Pools. Absolutely. You feel mindful when you did a great job. Thank you. But there's a kind of an interesting deal with that because the couple that owned the company, Aaron McGee and David McGee. Aaron McGee, if you've seen all the pictures out there on the panels, she's in one of those pictures as a cheerleader for Medford Senior High School. Or she's pictured with Bud Parsons, who was one of the founders of the Medford Linebackers in 1959. And here we are. Thank you, Aaron and Dave. The guest speaker sponsor is Superior Athletic Club. Thank you to them. They've been the sponsor for 3 or 4 of our inductions. They've displayed our panels in the past when we needed a little bit of a financial boost. So I thank that organization very much for your long-term commitment. We have some inductee sponsors, Hall of Fame movers, Lithia Auto Dealers, Mahar Homes, Road Disposal, Southern Oregon Sports Commission Travel Medford. Thank you. In-kind sponsors, the Mail Tribune, Medford Parks Recreation and Facilities, Pronto Print. They are doing the book. They did the booklet that you're in. I'd like to make a special note that Judy Ettinger did the preparation of that and took the time to Pronto Print. I think she did a great job. Thank you. Superior Stamp and Sign. They made our plaques that the inductees will receive this evening, and they gave a pretty nice discount, so I appreciate that very much. Table Rock Sports, they are live streaming this event. Debbie DeSoto and Joe Brett, thank you very much for all your help. Table sponsors are Cow Creek Tribe of Indians, S&S Sheet Metal, Dennis and Pam Murphy. Dennis Murphy is also a member of our planning committee. He's on the Hall of Fame committee. I appreciate his help, but just wanted to point out when he retired as the basketball coach at South Medford High School, he was the #2 winningest coach in basketball, boys basketball in the state of Oregon. JB Steel, S&B James Construction, Sherm's Thunderbird Food for Less. And our venue sponsor for this evening is Courthouse Family Fitness. Thank you very much for helping us. Any member that's in the Hall of Fame, would you please stand and be recognized? Please stand up. All the Hall of Fame inductees. Here, folks, last night he just won his 150th football game at South Medford High School. And I would like to, at this time, have a moment of silence for the members who have passed on since our 2017 ceremony. For the class of 1985, which was the inaugural inductee class, Dick Ragsdale, Lowell Dean, Scott Eaton, and Jeff Morris. For the class of 2007, way too soon, Kevin Powers. Please have a moment of silence. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker tonight. Coach Jessica Pistol. Coming out of Del Oro High School as a dual athlete, she was recruited by Biola University to play volleyball. She ended up playing softball as well. When she graduated from Biola, she held all pitching statistics, every category of pitching statistics. She was the #1 person. You talk about it: walks, earned runs, hits, strikeouts, ERA. She was #1 in all fields. Best year she had was 2001, when she was named an NAIA All-American and was voted the conference pitcher of the year. She was a 3-time All-American at Biola University. She had success when she left Biola. She went to William Jessup, where she became a volleyball coach. They didn't have a softball program, but she started one by convincing the administration to create a softball program. And she raised the money for the team, she recruited, she got the equipment, and she created a winning program at William Jessup. She later went on to Twin Falls, where she had the same, Twin Falls High School, where she had the same amount of success. Then she came to Southern Oregon in 2015. In the 5 years from 2015, she took over a program. She won three straight NAIA World Series. In 2019, she won the national championship with a record of 52-8. She took a year off, went down to San Diego State, came back to Southern Oregon, where she again won a national championship with a record of 55-6, 26-1 in the Cascade Conference. Is the only team in the Cascade Conference that never had more than one loss. She won the national championship again, but she did it a hard way. If you people know anything about sports, she won 5 straight elimination games, beating our rival Oregon Tech in extra innings to win the World Series once again. She has a record of 274-8. Jessica, what is it? Is that a wrong number? In 2019, when she won the national championship, her team was awarded the Oregon Sports Award George Pissarro Team of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Please give a good welcome to Jessica Christensen.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Such an honor to be with you guys tonight. And a huge congratulations to every inductee. Thank you to the committee for all your time and your efforts in planning this. I know it's been a long time coming. It's a wonderful event, and thank you, Gary, for giving me and my husband, Brian, an opportunity to be here tonight. I've spent some time thinking about what I'd like to talk to you guys about, and I wanted to find something that I felt like we could all relate to. So I'm going to start off with a few simple questions for you guys. First ones are going to be really, really easy. So show of hands, how many of you played sports at some point in your life, or you still do? It should be practically everybody in this room, right? How many of you guys were blessed to play with some incredible teammates at some point along the way? All right, how many of you played for some extremely impactful coaches? Keep them going. And how many of you were a part of a special team or program that was so much bigger than the sport that you played? Okay, still hopefully most of you at some point. All right, I'll make it a little harder. How many of you guys won some big games, even championships? Probably a good number in the room. Some individual awards, like this one along the way. I know there's a lot of you guys in here. How many of you then became coaches after you played? Okay. And then how many of you guys went on to have families and then you vicariously lived your sports career through your kids? Probably a good amount, right? Yeah. Or the next question, how many of you got to live that sports career through your grandkids? Come on. Okay. All right. I'm going to see if I can leave some of you guys out now. How many of you found a partner or a spouse and then you continued to play or coach? Okay. A little bit less. How many of you went down the fun-filled road of starting a family and then continued to play and coach? Good. Okay. All right. How many of you loved sports your whole life, somehow fell into coaching as a career by chance, found someone just as nuts as you to marry, went on to have, there you go, went on to have 4 kids, and as a family continued to coach every year by choice. Then 9 years after you thought your family of 6 was complete, and life was absolutely filled to the brim, you found out you were having surprise baby number 5 at 42 years old. Right here. So I think we covered everybody in this room by now. And honestly, over a year ago when Gary asked me to give these opening remarks, I thought, sure, why not? We'll be in the middle of our fall season of the program, but I've been doing this for a few years now. It's a crazy month, but I feel like we got the family life and the coaching life kind of settling in. Be a fun evening to get to share with some awesome people. And a few weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. Due somewhere around the time of postseason, possibly the national championship day. I was like completely speechless, as was my husband, for a good while. And then I felt like all we could really say was, we'll figure it out. Right? I think that's it. So here we are now. Beckett is 4.5 months old. She has more people who love her and hold her than any other child I know. And all of my kids were raised on the field. Somehow, she's a gift our family didn't know we needed. And my players just recently said, Coach, she's exactly what our team needed too. So I'm not going to sit here and talk this whole time about the excitement around our house and our team. But I do believe that I've recently landed on some simple wisdom that I really needed to hear that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. And that's the first is just be where my feet are. Be where my feet are. I heard a song yesterday as I was leading a caravan of my coaches and players up to Corvallis and Eugene. Played Oregon State yesterday, had an off day today, and we're going to play U of O and Mount Hood tomorrow. Beckett and Tennyson, my two youngest daughters, were sleeping in the back of the van, while Glory and Wynn, my two oldest daughters, were also driving in their own car in the middle of the caravan because they have practice in a game up north tomorrow and today. My mind began to wander about all of the things that this weekend held, including tonight, and just how on earth we're going to pull it all off. The song came on our playlist. I had never heard it before. It's called We Don't Know We're Living by Lucy Silvas. How many of you guys have heard that song? There's a couple lines in there that I'm going to read. It says, I wish I could see my life like it looks in the pictures. The sky really is that blue, and the grass is that green. I had everything that I wanted. Now I want to go back, because it was right there when I wasn't. And I felt like that kind of hit me square between the eyes. Just, yes, life is full, and every one of us has our own fullness and our own story. It's so easy to miss the gift of the moment, especially the challenging moments when we're working to reach that next goal or that new height, whether that be in our jobs, in our families, just the busyness of having families. I'm sure you can raise your hands, but I won't make you again. Have heard or used the term even often, it goes by so fast, or those were the best years of my life. Been looking at these pictures, I'm sure some of that just comes back to you guys. Or if only I could go back to those days. I've heard this most when my former players come and they get the opportunity to talk to our team, or I hear this so often when older parents, when I connect with older parents who now have grown-up kids. And as you all know, it is true, we don't get that time back. There is a term that some of you have been, you might recognize, especially those of you who've been a part of the Southern Oregon Sports Commission, know your role, right? I did my research. I understand that the initiative began from the desire to make youth sports more enjoyable, get more participation, and take it easy on the officials. It clearly separates the role of a player, a coach, a fan, a parent, and the official. And at first, like when I see it posted in the high school, or I hear it, it can seem overly simple or obvious, right? Especially in sport or in business. I'm a shortstop, I'm a coach, I'm an employee, I'm a kid, like just really simple. But I continue to learn this every single day as a wife, a mom, and a coach, that my role changes constantly, and the muddy waters have to be navigated clearly if I'm to give myself and all those around me the opportunity to grow, to learn the lessons, and enjoy the gifts that life gives us. This is the very thing that will allow me to be where my feet are, and yet it can be so hard. So it means playing my role in that moment to the best of my ability, even if I want to be in a different role at that point in time. So why does it matter? It matters because it's our ability to know our role but then to play it to the best of our ability that determines the experience that we can give each other in sport, but also in life. And this will impact us long after the championships are long past. So what does knowing your role look like in our program? Have some examples for you, and you guys are going to have your own examples of your programs or your family. It's the player who shows up day in and day out to work and push and make everyone better, yet rarely sees the field. It's the injured senior who now has to learn how to lead from the bench. It's the player who is called on to step up and play in that big moment when the game's on the line. It's the coach who has to make the tough decisions every day about whose name is written on that lineup. It's working towards your desired role, but at the end of the day, you will play any role needed to help the team. And for me, this is a big one. It's just handing over an important task to my incredibly, wonderfully capable assistant, because she has aspirations to become a head coach someday. And let's be honest, she's probably better at it than me. In our family, just like each of yours, that importance of knowing and accepting our role is equally important. For me, for us, it looks like Grammy buying a plane ticket to San Antonio to help out with the baby before I even confirm that I'm going, which I'm sure lots of you can relate, your grandmas. It's my 9-year-old Tennyson showing up to the field every day for 5 hours to take care of the baby. She's getting paid, of course. But even though she'd rather be at practice, hanging out with the players and eating snacks. And it's, us reluctant parents who are preparing to send our oldest daughter off to college, knowing deep down it's her turn to learn some hard lessons for herself that are going to shape her into the woman she's going to become. And lastly, my 11-year-old son for stepping in for my husband, wearing the baby, stepping up in the back right there. So that I can be here to talk to all of you guys. And only you guys know what those roles look like in your life, in sport and in family. The last thing I'm going to leave you guys with is something that's incredibly foundational to both our program and our family. And it's gratitude. There's no other way around it. But for both, gratitude for where your feet are and gratitude for the role that you're in that moment. And that's really hard to do, especially when it's not what you want to be doing sometimes. So something that we open up every day within our circle is we just go around and say something that we're thankful for. It would take a very long time for us to do that as a group, and I get booed off, but I want to do something close to that. Instead of going around individually, I just like you guys to think of something that you're thankful for. And it is probably not going to be too hard or take more than a second. But on the count of 3, we're all just going to say it out loud. I think it's an important thing to be able to put that out verbally for yourself, but also for those around you. All right, y'all got something? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity to be here, and congratulations to every inductee.
few more items. I've just learned something here this evening that I'm going to pass on to you that has been the job of the Hall of Fame Committee for 37 years. Just been informed by the city manager, who I'd like to recognize. When you're 80 years old, they go. Brian Shotu. And the president of the Parks and Recreation Foundation, Raul Warner. Is that correct? They have told me that the City Council of Medford has approved that the Hall of Fame will be permanently located in the Road X 2-acre building that they're going to build in 2023. It's taken a while, but we got there. And I thought one more thing. I'd just like to know how many past presidents of the Medford linebackers are in attendance today. Would you please stand up? And with that, we'll begin the inductions. And Gary Miller, you're up.
Thank you. I think I are in that same era. Thanks, Dick. Good evening. It's with a great deal of pleasure I introduce to you John Christensen, Medford Sports Hall of Fame, class of 2022. John is a Medford native who's had a 35-year officiating career. As you can see in the program, John has very high level credentials that qualified him for this honor, including being inducted into the USA of Oregon State Hall of Fame in 2017 and being appointed USA of Oregon Umpire in Charge this year. As a recently retired member of the Southern Oregon Sports Commission, and I know your role really resonates well with who am I introducing? With John. Okay, I'm wearing that now. With John, because he was very instrumental in the success of that, what it has experienced. But he has shown a passion for all sports, and he is dedicated to seeing sports tourism grow in Medford and the Rogue Valley. He has provided insight as the Sports Commission looked at ways to improve the sports culture, including recruiting and retaining officials. That's a huge challenge right now. What I have learned about John in the 20 years I've known him is that he's a doer. He gets things done. Please join me in congratulating John on his introduction into the Medford Sports Hall of Fame. John, please come forward.
Hello, everyone, and I would like to say thank you to the Medford Sports Hall of Fame Committee for this recognition. It's awesome. Thanks a lot. And Gary, in particular, asked me innocently for a bio about 6-8 months ago, and I sent it to him, so here I am. I guess didn't know that. I'd also like to say congratulations to the fellow inductees. It's an honor to be in a class with you going in 2022. I could never have imagined it, right? You don't start things, sporting careers, umpiring careers, thinking of things like this, nights like tonight. come because you do the work and you outlast, yourself, and you stay and be competent and do the right things. Jessica Pistol, I've had the great pleasure to work with her over the years and umpire her national championship teams on their road to the Natty, and there isn't a more gracious person in the world than Jessica. So one of my great pleasures is working with Jessica. A person never starts out for accomplishments like this and honors like this. It's truly unexpected and humbling. When I started in sports, I was just a young fella, but my brother was 9 years older, and when I became old enough to be his workout partner, he was at McLaughlin Junior High as a football player, and his goal in life was to get to North Medford and play for Spiegelberg. So he accomplished that. Our workout routine was, at the time, was all track and field. We did pole vault and running and push-ups and all that kind of stuff. So it was really a big thing in our family to get accomplishments like that. And my brother kind of put that in, laid that in my sister and I when we were young, and all of our family. But it was a great pleasure of his to play for Speed. Medford, what a great sports community, right? I mean, look at the people in this room and people that aren't here with us, but are honored in the sports committee, Sports Hall of Fame here. The fortunate thing for me is, I got to umpire for 32 years. Part of that was learning to be an umpire, and you don't start at those highest levels. You start at the lowest levels and work your way up. And the first thing I did is I played for 15 years in a traveling league, traveling team that went all over the state of Oregon and other places and played. And I survived that, I say, is that my traveling team had a beer problem with softball mixed in somewhere. So I was glad to kind of get on to other things. But in the early 2000s, I decided it would be best if I chose a sport. I was a baseball and a softball umpire at the time, and I had aspirations to be at the highest level and work softball at the highest level. So I made a conscious decision in 2003 to do that, and in 2004 I was offered a contract with Pac-10, for those who remember that, and I stayed around long enough to work with Pac-12 also, but it was a great accomplishment, and I took it very seriously. Traveled a lot. When you're at that level, you get to travel the world, so to speak. That was a great honor. And I also stayed with the club sports at the time, USA Softball, and worked several national championships. One of my great pleasures after I got to the retirement age was to mentor others into being great umpires, being great people, being great officials. It's hard to do. As anybody in this room knows, recruiting officials today is harder than it's ever been. People do not want to come out. We do know that Know Your Role is making a difference. It's near and dear to my heart, and I'm so glad I've been able to help in that. Unfortunately, I'm traveling quite a bit with work, and decided that I'd be best to not do that for right now, but I will be back. Angela won't let me get too far away. The great things about being in a community like Medford is that everybody comes out and enjoys the sport, enjoys the people, and even as an umpire, there was a lot of pleasure in working sporting events here because people do appreciate you, and if you're a capable official, they appreciate what you bring to the game. Without us, it's recess, right? So, kind of one of those things. We got to be there. We got to enforce the rules and all that stuff. But you can do it and be invisible, then you've done a good job. The wonderful thing is I saw a lot of young people, and I'm most proud to say that I saw those young people go through from an 8-year-old all the way through college and achieve state, national, and district, and national championships. So those are all really cool things. But I stayed long enough that the next thing I know, their kids were coming through. And I thought, well, how long have I been here? This is getting a little long here. But again, I saw some of them achieve the same things their parents did. So that's a great honor as an official to see people come through, enjoy their sport, and then have their kids come through. I'm going to leave you with a few words from a good friend of mine named Wild Bill Silvis. He's the USA National Hall of Fame inductee. And he says, when it's time to honor individuals, it's also time to honor their families, their friends, and their teammates. No one gets here by themselves. No words were ever more true than those to me here today. I'm truly honored to receive this induction tonight. Thank you.
One more round of applause for John.
Good evening. My name is Craig. Thank you all for being here. It's my honor to not only introduce our next inductee, but to call my friend for quite a few years. I was a freshman when George was a sophomore in high school, and I remember once we got to senior high school, junior and senior, George was already very established playing golf. Really, really good. You know, most of us like, God, how can I little piss emphasize be that good? He was really, really good. George went on to have an outstanding career at Oregon after winning 3 state championships at Medford Senior High School. He went on to play professional golf, and I remember one time he came back and I ran into him right after he got back. He was in Australia, and when George played professional, they were still hitting Persimmon Woods and playing a lot of golf balls, by the way. He comes back and I go, well, George, how was it? He goes, well, I'll tell you, Craig. He goes, playing this par 5, and I ripped a driver, I ripped a 3-wood, and hit a wedge onto this par 5 and 3 for a birdie putt. Well, all right. And he goes, and Greg Norman hit driver 5-iron on the green too. So just goes to show you. But here's one thing about George, and it's been this way since I was a freshman in high school. He's always happy to meet you, meet anybody he sees. He's a great person and a true gentleman. And it is my honor to present George Jay's 2022 Medford Sports Hall of Fame.
Thanks, Craig. I have known Craig a long time, so I wasn't exactly sure how that was going to go. But so I'm really humbled to be here. I'd like to thank the committee for voting me in at this stage of my life. My competitive golf days are long behind me, but this is a huge honor for me at this moment. And we were talking last night, the football game, and Craig says, wait till you get there and see all of the pictures and the people that are in this hall. And it is incredibly impressive, the caliber of all of the people that are in this Hall of Fame. And for me to be a part of this, kind of trying to figure out a little bit how it happened. You know, he described some of the stuff I did, and it's like, I'm waiting for that guy to show up here, but it just really is truly humbling, and I just so appreciate it. So thank you so much. So again, thank you to the committee. My start in golf came because of my dad, BD. Everybody knows BD. He introduced me to the game when I was probably 12 years old, 10 or 11, 12 years old. There's a few other guys here I saw Jim Wise. I wanted to thank Jim because he was right there too, but BD it was kind of baseball or golf for me, and he introduced me to the game. It was something that I could do on my own because I was an only child. And one of the things about BD was I never felt any sort of pressure to be a good player. He just always was encouraging. There was never any period where I felt like I was being pushed to do anything that I didn't want. As I got better, as I got older, he always, like if I wanted new clubs, he bought me new clubs. If I wanted Titleist golf balls, he bought me Titleist golf balls. If I wanted new shoes, he bought me new shoes, except for the time that I needed to make a par on that little par 3 hole that used to be down the hill. And I didn't, and he still wouldn't buy me the shoes, which was very upsetting moment. But the point is that I had friends that I would sit with at breakfast the next day, and their dad would say, "What'd you shoot?" And it'd be a bad score, and it'd be like, "Well, what's wrong with you? And why'd you play bad?" And I never got that. It was just always encouragement, always do the best you can, and that really was a thing that I think that helped me a lot in the way that my golf career went for me. So thanks, BD. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. My mom's not here tonight, which is too bad because she would think this is really cool. And she was the one that drove me everywhere. BD was working at Lithia. He couldn't take a weekend off or a week off to drive me to Portland to play a junior golf tournament. I started playing junior golf tournaments when I was 13 years old. And my mom drove me everywhere. We made a million trips up I-5 because most of the tournaments were in Portland, Eugene, Salem. And she would take me, she'd take some of my buddies. I had a good friend from Roseburg, we'd pick him up. And she drove me all over the state for 3 years until I turned 16 and I could drive myself. And then I had to share her car. And so I'd take off she was really sort of the driving force, I think, behind a lot of what I did, because she just was so positive. Most of the people here know my mom, I'm sure they do. She's just such a great person, and when we'd have tournaments here in the valley, there wasn't many. Bronze Pass, the club, Klamath Falls. All the kids would stay at our house, and we swam, and she made all the food, and everyone wanted to come. When we had her funeral right here in this room 4 years ago, 3 or 4 of my junior golf buddies showed up, and they came from all over the place because they loved her. And so I'd like to thank my mom who was just so amazing. And again, she would just think this was really cool. And her sisters are here tonight. I'd like to say hello to them. Golf has obviously been a huge part of my life. I think, again, I mentioned I was an only child. It was something I could do by myself. They dropped me off at the club, I'd play all day. Just, what are you gonna do? I don't know. Just drop me off and I'll go play. I'll hit balls, I'll go putt, I'll go play the inside nine. I was talking to Jim earlier, back then, there was like not a junior program, but you could go play the inside, and then so I'd go around there just all day long. And I think that it gave me that, just gave me that, the ability to just sort of just do, because again, I was an only child. So I was just able to go and get better. And that led to so much great stuff in my life. I got to play on 3 Medford High School state championship teams, Black Tornadoes. There we go, Medford High. I was recruited by the University of Oregon and got a scholarship and got to go to U of O, play golf. Going to Oregon on a golf scholarship and playing golf was one of the highlights of my life. Like you can be a fan or go to a school, but like when you're in there with the guys, you're wearing those colors, it's a different thing. And I got to play in huge tournaments, traveled all over the place. I got to meet friends from everywhere, friends that I still have today, lifelong friends, guys from Australia, guys from Florida, people that I still keep in contact with. So golf has and one of the things that was just so much fun. I just had so much fun doing it. I never give any of it back. I'd like to thank our family. They're all here. Everyone came. Yeah, we bought up a bunch of tables. Yeah. My girls, 2 daughters, they're the best. My daughter Hillary, my daughter Haley. My grandson, Harrison, he had to go out apparently because he was making a fuss. And we're going to have more grandkids, I know. But Harrison's first, guarantee in about 5 or 6 years. I'm going to have him on the range. He's going to be swinging it pure. You're right on plane. Yeah. And we're going to teach all of them to play because it's such a great game. My wife Kelly has been with me. We met when we were 13 at first day, 8th grade at Hedrick. And I think we got together for real when we were maybe 17, was it? Yeah. Maybe, yeah, I think so. The point is, though, is that I spent all my days on the putting green, and she was out there. I'm not sure that a lot of women would have done that. You cannot count the hours that she sat around a putting green watching me just bang 3-footers. I mean, how boring would that be? But she did it, and she would like read a book or do her homework or whatever, and then I'd move on to the driving range, and she spent hours and hours sitting at the back of a driving range, watching me bang balls, again, reading a book. Every once in a while I'd say, how'd that swing look? And she'd be like, yeah, it's great. She had no idea. But she walked miles and miles of golf course with me. She caddied for me some tournaments. Sometimes that didn't go that great. She'll tell you, I don't think it happened, but she believes that one time I threw a club at her. I think it was an accident, but she, and we traveled. She traveled all over with me. We went overseas. We went to Australia together. We went to New Zealand together. Sometimes it didn't seem like fun, but we look back on it now and it was really fun. We had a great time. And I just, like I said, I just wouldn't trade it. So I don't know what else to say other than thank you so much.
Henry, I'm the sports editor at the Mail Tribune. For 25 years, it's really been my privilege to write about the best and brightest that Southern Oregon has to offer. Many of them are in this room tonight, and quite honestly, I'm as big of a fan as everybody else is in following your pursuits. I kind of live and die without each of you have done over your careers. My wife will tell you that. I had hoped to just print everything out and have you guys read it on the screen. I'm not much of a public talker, but Gary and Dick said no. That won't work. I'm here tonight to introduce David Faiting. David was a 3-sport letterman at North Medford High before graduating in 2004 and going on to big things as a defensive lineman at the University of Oregon, and most recently, a state championship coach at Hermiston High. Congratulations. Dave earned a state title in the discus as a senior, finished runner-up in the shot put, helping the Black Tornado earn a 4th place trophy, which is more important when you figure out there was one other athlete scoring for North Medford in that state tournament. David was twice voted the most inspirational player for the boys basketball team, and I think that represents the character and type of teammate he was. His exploits on the football field, legendary, from his freshman year in 2000 to his final season in 2003, which both ended in state runner-up showings. Maria, I don't want to hear anything. Standing 6'3" and 280 pounds, David was a beast in the trenches and also showed just an uncanny athleticism and speed for someone his size as he rose to become a first-team All-State selection on the offensive line and the defensive line, and also being recognized as Oregon's Defensive Player of the Year in 2003. Many games and moments stand out in David's career, and I can't get into all of them, but one of them kind of stands out for me because I think it really shows just the athleticism he had on the gridiron. And that was one particular game in 2002 against Eagle Point. It's a second half kickoff, and Eagle Point just had no designs of kicking it to one of North Medford's skill players at that time. I wouldn't either. So they kicked the ball just ahead to the 30-yard line, right to David. He gathered the ball, juked a couple of would-be tacklers, and what I'm sure David would ask me to tell you was cat-like agility. Right, David? Using a little power to kind of further push away, he then turned on the Jets, outrun everyone 70 yards to the end zone for a touchdown. Leaving everybody in awe. Like, what is this big guy doing? I can only imagine the business decisions made that night by the Eagle Point players as this behemoth of a man with a full head of steam was charging at me. I have a feeling it was something like Get Over. David's older now. He's the father of 3 adorable children, and that has a way of mellowing you out. But just for everyone to be safe, please be careful, make way, as I introduce Class of 2022 inductee, David Faiting.
Well, they did make business decisions. They told me later they were trying to miss the tackle. So, first of all, I want to thank the committee for being here. No one said anything about writing a speech, so apologize. However, I first got started playing sports in Medford at McLaughlin Middle School, home of the Bulldogs. We won a lot of football games, except for that one game every year against middle school. We had to go up against, Rob Folsom, Russ Vandell, and that whole crew, so that wasn't always fun. And we didn't come out on the winning side of that one. But those 2 guys would end up being my teammates later on at North Medford, where we went on to do a lot of good things playing the game of football. However, first of all, I want to thank all of you guys for coming out here tonight. Again, the committee for, even considering me. It's the kid who played football. So, what is sports? But everything we want to do and continue to do. We push our kids to do. It's the best of everything. You get to compete, you get to play. The one thing we don't do enough of today. And enjoy the company of brothers, sisters that we can play with. I'm the product of Medford. I truly am. It's a lot harder than it looks. I wish I had a note card. There's a lot of faces in this room that I remember growing up. Teachers, coaches, and a lot of boosters in here, people that pumped dollars into the Medford programs. And I wouldn't be where I am today without that. Athletics in Medford gave me a father figure. One I aspire to be for my kids and all the kids I get to coach and teach. And the reason for that is They taught me how to care, how to love unconditionally. Coaches that showed up to pick you up, paid for your spirit pack when your mom couldn't afford it. But most importantly, picked you up when you were down. Told you you're more than just a number. You're more than just a player in a uniform. It's because of Medford Athletics that I get to do the great things I get to do right now. From excelling in college to, earning a degree. Like, I'm not the greatest student athlete, and I'm not going to pretend to be one. Like, I used to skip class and do check-in at the library. One time I remember I was delivering notes for the office to a class that I was skipping. And the teacher, when she asked me what I was doing, I was like, oh, I was in the office. They asked me to deliver this note. Okay. And I was blessed to have some great coaching staffs in North Medford. In football, basketball, and track and field, and not only that, but the teaching staff there. I'll never forget Mrs. Lee, my junior English teacher, looked me straight in the eye and said, "David, you're going to be a teacher someday." I looked at her like, "No way." And she says, "Yes, because some kid like you is going to give another teacher hell." And so, so I teach and I coach, and the reason I do that is because of a lot of the people in this room that cared enough to look at a kid and say, "Hey," pulled me along and guided me along until I was able to do it on my own. And I'll never forget that. And I'll never forget the impact Medford Athletics has had on my life. And my kids will never know that, or until they watch this video of their dad crying. And then they're going to be like, "Dad, I thought you didn't cry." But the point is this: what the people in this room have done for athletics in this town, in this community, and the continued impact it continues to have, you will never truly understand, how deep that impact is. And I'm blessed and honored to be, inducted in this class and to be on a list with some of the greatest names I've ever, read on a list from the state of Oregon, and my kids were giving me heat because we played a game last night, and I reminded them, like, "Hey, we got Saturday morning lift and film at 9 a.m. And then one of our receivers shot off. He goes, "Coach, you gonna be there?" And I was like, "I'll be there in spirit, but I'll know if you're not." Medford Athletics means the world to me, and I don't think my wife will ever know just the impact this town has had on me and my family, what it's allowed me to do. The coaches and the teachers have made me into the father I am today. My kids will never know what it's like to be hungry, never know what it's like to sleep in the car, never know what it's like to heat their house with a stove. Because some of the people in this room care that much about a student. And regardless of how athletic I was or how gifted I was at sport, they still pushed academics. They still pushed me to get in the classroom and do the thing. I remember Coach Sean picking me up one morning, he goes, "Hey, let's go to breakfast." And I was like, "All right, great, And then, we're driving to Grants Pass. I was like, "That's a far way to go to Denny's." "Oh yeah, no, it's the best one. It's the only one that serves this meal." "Oh, cool. Sounds good to me." And then after breakfast, we start driving. He drives towards the high school, hands me a pouch of pencils and calculator. He said, "Good luck." What? You're gonna go take your SATs. It's an SAT. So I went in there, took the test. A few months later, got the test scores back. He looked at me in the face and said, "You lazy little shit." I'm like, what? He's like, with this SAT score, if you go to class and you pass with B's or better, you'll be eligible for a college scholarship. You don't know the impact that something like that has on a kid. He's going to finish playing and then go work in the mill like my mom. But that right there taught me to dream more again. And I was able to go to the University of Oregon on a football scholarship with a really bad GPA. Because the NCAA came up with a little sliding scale. And that worked in my favor. But it took a lot of hard work, a lot of perseverance. You know, we won the few senior, the only senior, sitting in freshman English class because I failed last semester. And the kids asking me why. Hey, why are you here? I'm an aide. And then student aide, the teacher going, no, you're not. But it's because of this community, this great sports community, that I was able to go and play at the University of Oregon. And, you know, they weren't the first school to offer. You know, the other school offered first in Oregon State. And then I asked Coach Beck and Coach Sean and Mike Kay, hey, which school's closer? And they said, Eugene's closer, so Oregon. And I was like, well, let's all go there. And they look at me and was like, why are you going to go there? My mom's car can make it to Oregon. And the rest is history, I guess, you know. My wife said something, my cousin, he's like, he's in school and he has a psychology background or something like that. And we're at lunch and you know, and I'm still bewildered. I don't feel like I've done enough to give back to this community or to athletics in general to be up here. I feel like there's still way more I can do, more kids to impact, more kids to coach up, more people to be that father figure too that my coaches and teachers were to me. Someone positive, someone caring, someone loving, to allow them to aspire to something great. So I'm truly thankful and truly humble that I'm up here today. And thank you, Medford.
Unfortunately, our next inductee couldn't be here with us tonight. She lives in Florida with her husband of 23 years and their 3 sons, and their 3 German Shepherds. I can remember years ago when I was coaching softball at North Medford and talking to Larry Benny going, we need to get that gal on the softball team. She's a heck of an athlete. Unfortunately, she ran track and did track also, but Tasha was 4-year volleyball, Letterman, 2 years of basketball, 2 years of track at North. As a senior outside hitter, she led the team in kills and digs, which is pretty amazing actually in this day and age to lead in kills. Usually that's the offensive person and the digs are the defensive person, but that's impressive. In 1996, she was the MVP and for the Black Tornado and a Conference Player of the Year and first team All-State. I got her a scholarship to the University of Southern Mississippi, and she led the team in kills and was MVP in '96. But with that, a fine gentleman who coached her in basketball is here on her behalf, and I would like to congratulate our 2022 inductee, Tasha Barnacle of Firestone, and Mr. John Thomas, I believe, is coming to accept for her.
Great, you want to see the video first? We've got a
Oh,
video.
she did. I like to hold that. Okay. You wanted to see the video? Apparently we have a video. I didn't.
We got you.
Play of one of the best spikers in the SOC, Junior Tasha Barnacle, this week's All-Sport Amateur Athlete of the Week.
Well, I started in 6th grade, and I've always loved it because, I mean, just the force of hitting, blocking, just all-around movement. I just really like the game compared to most sports. You have to use your head a lot more, too.
There's no doubt Junior Tasha Barnacle uses her brain and brawn for the Black Tornado. She's a standout in basketball, volleyball, and track, where she holds the school record in the discus, but says there's nothing like a good spike.
Actually, the biggest win of our season was Churchill in the playoffs. I mean, we really came together as a team, and we got that one. We were so happy to get that one.
As if competing in 3 sports was not enough, Tasha is helping to start a high school volleyball club and teaches Special Olympics in her off time. So, how'd she become such a strong student athlete?
Probably my #1 support system is my mom. She supports everything I do. She just 100% is always there for me, which is really great.
Her career goals are lofty, and why shouldn't they be after the success she's had on and off the court?
I've been getting some letters, but I'm really interested in going to college on volleyball and studying medicine. I really like to become a doctor. I'm not sure what kind, but I'm really interested in that.
No doubt she's already earned a PhD in volleyball. Now all she has to do is doctor up a state playoff berth next season, which she says, hey, that's an easy prescription to write.
Greetings from Florida. Hi, my name is Tasha Firestone. I wanted to make a quick video because I couldn't be there today in person, and I just wanted to show great and incredible gratitude for this incredible, amazing, just triumphant honor of getting into the Medford Sports Hall of Fame. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. And walking down memory lane and thinking about all those years in sports and what it taught me and the people who invested in time in me and the price that my mom paid, making sure I had everything I needed and I was where I needed to be. It's unbelievable the foundation that it gives you to be able to persevere through those seasons, through those workouts, through those times that are great when you're winning, through those times that are lower when you're not. And what it does, right, is it builds you as a person. And I'm just so thankful for the people in Medford, growing up there, all the way through Kennedy to Hedrick, to North Medford High School, teachers like Mr. Tim Sam, Mrs. Bradshaw, counselors like Ralph Burrell, coaches like Steve Levesque, Ron Bike, Coach K, John Thomas. I mean, so many people I could thank in person if I was there. I just appreciate you so much and all the ways that it helped me become who I am today. I am so thankful to share this honor with my family, with my husband, with my kids, and it's just really, really, really defines that the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. I've always thought of that quote, and it's crazy how over time, if you'll let time do its job, these things pay off in ways you'd never imagine. And I'm just so thankful for everybody who showed up tonight that is honoring all these inductees. Congratulations, and please don't forget us down here in Florida. We live in Niceville, which is right across the bridge to Destin, 30A area. If you're ever in town, please don't hesitate to reach out. You got a Medford connection here. Thank you and have a great night. Really, really defines that the only place that success comes before work is in the dictionary. I've always thought of that quote, and it's crazy how over time, if you'll let time do its job, these things pay off in ways you'd never imagine. And I'm just so thankful for everybody who showed up tonight that is honoring all these inductees. Congratulations, and please don't forget us down here in Florida. We live in Niceville, which is right across the bridge to Destin, 30A area. If you're ever in town, please don't hesitate to reach out. You've got a Medford connection here. Thank you and have a great night.
Well, that's two presentations. I'm sorry I have to follow. David, that was fantastic. Tasha, that was great. On behalf of the current coaching staff at North Medford and the athletic department, and much thanks to the Hall of Fame, Gary Miller and Dick, I thank you for inviting me to this event. It's an honor to have been asked by Tasha to stand here for and receive the reward on her behalf. I was very early in my coaching career when I met Tasha at North Medford in the 93-94 season, and enjoyed being able to work with such an accomplished athlete even then. My recollections of Tasha are as clear to me now as they were then. I was most appreciative of the approach and purpose that Tasha brought to every practice and contest. She brought spirit, communication, and hustle every day, and her approach was not to take moments off. There were no challenges that Tasha would not take head on, and she found ways to make herself better and certainly made her teams better. She was a special player, and in that environment, she stood out uniquely. I'm happy to share a few memories from former coaches that Tasha played for at North Medford, and when I asked them, their responses were immediate, clear, and we were all proud of you for the latest recognition. My dear friend, Coach Jim Leroy, Chris Parnell, and I shared our thoughts recently, but two coaches I thought you'd particularly enjoy recollections from. Your former head coach of volleyball, Ron Bike, stated, "She was an outstanding leader and teammate. Besides her great talent, she understood the game and strategies, making her invaluable on the court. She supported all the girls in the program, and Coach cited that she connected with the sub-varsity program selflessly. In his first year, she helped him to build the foundation of a strong volleyball program. She received all state and all league awards and Player of the Year awards in the conference." Former basketball head coach Gordy Croson said, "First of all, I had Tasha in honors history. He recalled her intelligence and hard work in the classroom, and that she was a personable and a very good person. I quote, Tasha was a scorer and rebounder with great instincts and a knack for finding her shots, and was one of the best players in the league at that time. Her skills were formidable, but her mind was her greatest asset. We both remember that Tasha routinely outsmarted her opponents." If I were to summarize best for Tasha what all of these moments as a student athlete in Medford added up to in her life, following her career in sports at North Medford, I'd guess that we helped to set a cornerstone for success that she continued to seamlessly build upon in college. Her induction to the Southern Mississippi Hall of Fame in 2017 is a testament that Tasha continued to reach new levels of excellence in her collegiate volleyball career, just as she had done in her high school career prior. But to me, all of these years later, the most notable of all of her accomplishments
It's her Hall of Fame mastery of her partnership with husband Frank, motherhood to sons Austin and Zach, and daughter Natalie. Her accomplishments continue to influence and inspire many people in her life as she has in her athletic career. I have followed her posts for many years now, finding lessons and nuggets of insight that have become part of my own coaching with the current generation of young women seeking to reach their own goals. If your mother, Jolynn, is listening, we congratulate you too. But this moment is yours, Tasha. As well deserved as this award is, your life is the true testament of your greatness, and I'm humbled to have been asked to be here for you. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Gigi. This evening we are remembering the contributions of an individual that has passed on. The Medford Sports Hall of Fame Committee is grateful for this opportunity to recognize Terry Maddox, who passed away January 24th, 2021. Terry grew up in the Roan Valley on a farm west of Jacksonville, loving baseball. He played for the Medford High team at 49 and 52 with our good fellow Hall of Fame member and iconic sports figure here in Medford, Don Schneider. They were teammates. He went on to play baseball at the University of Oregon, where he was voted most valuable player in 1955. He was a 3-time All-Conference, All-American pitcher, outfielder, was inducted into the University of Oregon Hall of Fame and the Springfield Hall of Fame. He lived most of his adult life with his wife Shirley in Springfield, where he served as the high school baseball coach. Shirley is here with us this evening. I'd like to have her stand to be recognized. Shirley. Please join me in welcoming his son, Chris Maddox, who is accepting the award on behalf of the entire Maddox family.
My name is Chris Maddox. I'm one of Terry's 3 sons. I'm speaking in his stead and for the family. Terry couldn't make it as he passed the previous year, as was noted. But rumor has it he has made it to the Fair Isles, where he has found happiness playing against the all-time greats. I would like to thank the Medford Park and Recreation Foundation and the Medford Sports Hall of Fame Committee for this recognition. And Diane and Chrissy Walker for helping get this through. Terry is grateful to his parents for letting him attend Medford High and live with his grandma, Rose Singler, during the school year. Terry's first coach was Alex McDonald, known as Mac. He was the coach of the Medford Black Tornadoes. Terry met Mac after reading that he was holding a summer baseball camp for 5th and 6th graders at Medford High School. The next day, he rode his bike the 8 miles from the Jacksonville ranch to Medford. The first day, Mac had the kids play catch, and he decided at that time that Dad was going to be a pitcher. He played 4 years of high school varsity baseball as a pitcher and an outfielder. In the 1951 district champs, he graduated in 52. One thing I did note when I saw a newspaper clipping of the 1951 team, there was also a Jim Singler that was on that team. He played 5 years of American Legion baseball and played with Mac on a semi-pro Cheney Studs from his junior year of high school to his junior year of college. Mac was more than a coach for Terry. He considered him his second father, who taught him a lot about life and how to be a good man. Terry was, in addition to baseball, was his senior year was a student body vice president and was voted most valuable senior boy in his class. After graduation from high school, he could have either gone into the pros farm system or gone on to college. He chose the college route, playing for the University of Oregon Ducks. At the U of O, he was a three-time All-TAC 8 pitcher and outfielder. He's one of 5 first-team All-Americans and was inducted to the U of O Sports Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, during a playoff with UCLA, it was a doubleheader. He pitched the first game and they won. Started the second game, the pitcher was getting blown out. After a third of the inning, the coach put him back in. He pitched for about 5 more innings and he threw his arm out, which basically took him out of being a pitcher as a pro. However, while attending the U of O, he attained a Bachelor of Science degree in geology. After graduating from the U of O, he was drafted by the pros, but then he was immediately drafted by Uncle Sam. He was served at Fort Ord down in California, in Carmel, and then was transferred to the Presidio in San Francisco. While still in the Army, he started his family, and 2 of his kids were born there while he was in the Army. After the Army, he played some minor league ball with the Salem Senators and Eugene Emeralds. I believe one of the things that he used to bring home was turkeys, that one of the sponsors had a small sign. If you hit a home run and hit that sign, you get a free turkey. And he got a lot of turkeys. He then became a high school teacher. He taught math and science and was the baseball coach for Springfield High School. He also served as the president of the State Baseball Coaches Association. He was inducted to the U of Hall of Fame in 2006 and the Springfield Hall of Fame in 2017. To help make ends meet, he used the GI Bill. He got a master's degree in geology from the University of Oregon. Additionally, he became a teacher at Lane Community College and set up the geology department and their geology lab there. Towards the end of his high school teaching, he started drawing. He started pencil art by Terry and remained active in that field for almost 35 years. The infirmities of age finally caught up with him, and he passed early last year. Terry and Shirley were married for 64 years, had 5 children, 13 grandchildren, and 10 great-grandchildren, soon to be 11. It is worth noting how the people and the organizations in his life were such a powerful force to propel him forward in all that he accomplished. So again, I would like to thank Mac for Alex McDonald, his coach, and Medford High School for having such a powerful and positive influence on his life. And may we pick up that legacy and pass it on to the next generation of kids. Again, thank you very much.
So I'm going to go rogue here for a second. Before we go on to our next inductee, I would like to acknowledge a man that has been raising and has raised a ton of money for Medford sports and local athletics for many, many, many years and everything else. And the reason we're all here tonight is because of him. This is probably his last hurrah at this. We have a lot of big shoes to fill on the committee, but I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Dick Enninger for everything he's done. a true gentleman. So our next inductee, went to high school with too. Went to high school with a lot of these people. It was great for that. So imagine back in grade school, when we were in grade school, we had grade school sports, football, basketball, and track and field. So my first game of the fifth grade year, I'm a quarterback, 80-pound quarterback, and our first game's against Jackson Elementary. Get under center and I look across, and here is this about the same size as he is now. That was the first time I met Randy, and the next time we became friends in 7th grade. We've been friends since 7th grade, and he went on to have a tremendous career at Medford at Black Tornado as a football player and track and field. I can remember in 7th grade coming in from basketball practice, we couldn't get in the locker room because he was wrestling as a 7th grader, Jerry Varner, that day. And there was so many people there, they were back clear out into the hallway, and we couldn't get to the locker room. But anyway, he held school records for every school he was ever at, and here's one that's amazing. He still holds the shot put record at SOU from 1988. That's pretty impressive. Very impressive. He's in the Hall of Fame for the Cascade Conference and the Southern Oregon University Hall of Fame. I believe he has a couple national powerlifting championships in there also. But it's my privilege to introduce my friend, 2022 Medford Sports Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Randy Sattel.
I've lost in 6th grade. First of all, I do not like to do speeches. First of all, I'd like to thank the Medford Sports Hall of Fame for selecting me to be inducted. It's a huge honor, and I'm humbled to receive this induction and honor. When I graduated from high school, I had no plans to continue. You got this, Dad. I do have a guest, my daughter. No. So, and forgive me, my emotions as I've gotten older, grandfather, they're just better. They just start. I had no plans to continue to compete in athletics. The plan was to go in the military, become a military police officer, spend 3 years, then maybe go to college when I graduated. Forgive me for not mentioning the gentleman's name over here. I too was that athlete. I was not a great student. I had no desire. I had a girlfriend in high school who was incredible. Academically, it wasn't my cup of tea. I had no desire. Therefore, I didn't take my SAT test. I didn't go to college out of high school. All right, dang phone disappeared already. So, I'm leaving for boot camp in August. Kind of giving a backstory. I was selected to compete at the national high school track team and to go to Japan. And Jerry Allen, who is also being inducted today, helped me raise money here locally in Medford to go to Japan. Unfortunately, the Army said, we're changing your enlistment date to the date you're supposed to go to Japan. So I'm headed up to go to boot camp. I'm leaving for my checkout, and they do a physical, and they said, you have psoriasis. Which I thought, never been diagnosed with it to this day. I've still never been treated for it. It was a permanent disqualification from all 4 branches of the military. Coaches from Southern Oregon State found out that I was home, but not. Left for boot camp and literally held my hand and walked me through basically walked me through the process to take the SAT test, to start school. And so I started that spring of 1984. I got back into lifting weights, and I'll talk more about that later. Had an opportunity to enjoy a wonderful athletic career at Southern State. They wanted me to play football. I had no desire, had no interest. Appreciate the compliments for accomplishments I had in high school football, but it just wasn't my passion. Being an athlete taught me not only to work hard, but to work hard to achieve the goals that I had set. However, success in winning all the time was not possible. When losses happened, and they did, I saw it as an opportunity to work harder, to grow, and improve. These concepts transferred later into my professional career, my role as a father, a grandparent, and also as a husband. I continue to believe that life is always offering us opportunities to grow, learn, and improve our skills and our relationships. My wife and my best friend did that. You say I'm still learning to be that better husband. I don't know why this is so hard. I grew up both hearing in my personal life and my professional career. It takes a village to raise a child. I found this concept to be true as an athlete. It takes a village, family, friends, coaches to create, shape, and mold an athlete, regardless of their ability or their accomplishments. And on that note, I'd like to thank the coaches throughout my athletic career: Jake Mertry, Leo Knorr, Bruce Howell, Jack Van Amber, Warren Musser, Scott and Fred Spiegelberg, Dee Madsen, Dick Brown, and Monty Cartwright. Two of my very close friends are here at my table tonight. They have been lifelong friends, 40 and 50 plus years. Scott and a friend of mine by the name of Matt, we spent many days and hours playing football in the streets, playing catch with a baseball, down at the local middle school, which we call junior high, playing flag football, touch football, you name it. Scott was always there helping me. I created a home gym later in life as a high school student, and he was there many times, spotted me, supported me, and just a good friend. Sam, I could tell you stories. Most of them are inappropriate. But on a serious note, I met Sam through my high school counselor. She introduced Sam and I. Sam's 11 years older than I. I'm a 16, 17-year-old high school kid. And my high school counselor knew that I loved lifting weights. And it was a big part of my athletic career. And through our introduction, we spent at least a good 10 years competing together, powerlifting meets, deadlift competitions, bench press competitions, you name it. Sam, too, was honored and been selected and is in the Hall of Fame for his accomplishments as a powerlifter and as well as a coach. He was inducted in 2017. I want to thank you, Scott and Sam. Last but not least, my family. My brothers, Gary and Chris, for putting up with older brother antics. Having to follow my footsteps, as we've had a number of conversations over the years, it was not always easy. But then, I can't count how many times I would talk them into helping me in our home gym, working out, spotting, going down, shagging a discus, doing whatever it would take to just be there and be present as an athlete. My parents bought me my first weight set at age 12. And I remember that because that was an important part of my athletic career. And I remember both of them talking and thought there was this concrete plastic set of a bench press. They thought it was going to sit in the corner and collect dust. Little did they know that became a huge passion of mine throughout my age 12 until, I don't know how old, late 20s, 30 years of age. They always attended football games, wrestling, track meets. I forgot about the wrestling until you mentioned that, Craig. There's a whole backstory behind that. My mom was a single mom. When I was in high school. And I know financially, it was a struggle for her at times. There's a picture of Fred Sweetberg and I was Defensive Player of the Year in our conference, and he was the Coach of the Year of our conference. And I'm sitting on top of the locker, and I've got a pair of tennis shoes that had holes, my toes, through my socks were sticking out. Yeah, I apologize. She was embarrassed by that. I wasn't. I didn't know anything different. She did everything she could as a mom to support me. She was there. She bought me the shoes that I needed for sports. I didn't care about the tennis shoes. I needed football cleats. I needed track, throwing shoes. Those were the things that were important. She was present. She was always there. She'd go out in our home garage, in the gym, support me, spot me. And this isn't a mom who physically had the size to do a whole lot, but she was there. So without any more crying or emotional stuff, I want to say, this is my village. And I want to thank everyone, coaches, my friends, my family, in the Medford Sports Hall of Fame. It's a huge honor. I want to say thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chuck Ross, and it's truly an honor and a privilege to be part of the Medford Sports Hall of Fame Committee. You know, when we were setting up last night and putting all those amazing plaques and pictures up, Dick and Murph and Craig and I was walking through it, just looking at the legends. And you know, when I think of a Hall of Fame of any sort, this is what I think of. I think of a past great, a legend, someone we've heard about, read about, would like to meet, see, get an autograph from. How cool is it and how blessed is it when we know that person? When someone like Craig Nips can speak of his buddy Braden, right? I mean, that's amazing stuff, right? How cool is it when we can watch them play and root for them? You know their family. How proud and excited for father, mother, brother, sister, grandmother, to see those kids grow up and become something very special. There's some athletes here tonight, some young athletes here tonight that's being inducted, young men. That my own boys went to school with. I'm friends with their families. I watched them grow up, rooted for them. That's special. Tonight is my privilege to introduce and present one of those young men, Braden Shipley, into the Medford Sports Hall of Fame. Braden played 3 sports up through high school, football, basketball, and baseball, until he decided to focus on baseball. I enjoyed watching him play, not only for his hustle, hard work, athletic ability, and his versatility. He could hit, pitch, play shortstop, or anywhere on the field that Coach Wolf would put him. But for me, it was his attitude. Always competitive, always having fun, right? And always smiling And we're going to say it, that big Brady smile. Right? With North Medford, he was first team All-State in 09 and 2010. In 09, he was on the Medford Mustang team that won regionals and went on to the American Legion World Series. This college awards consists of 2011 Western Athletic Conference All-Conference Shortstop, 2012 Western Athletic Conference Pitcher of the Year, 2013 Mountain West Pitcher of the Year, 2013 Rawlings All-Region First Team Collegiate Player, 2013 he was a top 5 finisher as a Golden Spikes candidate. 2013 he was picked, he was first pick of the Arizona Diamondbacks, being the 15th pick, the highest player ever drafted from the University of Nevada. In 2016 he made his MLB debut against the Milwaukee Brewers, followed by his next start at Dodger Stadium, throwing 6 shutout innings. Braden just finished up his 10th season in professional baseball with the Seattle Mariners organization. Please welcome Braden Shipley.
Well, I did kind of write some notes down here, but let's see. I don't know if I've had this many butterflies since my debut in Milwaukee. 3 homers later, it didn't go so well. So hopefully this week's a little better. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to the Medford Sports Commission. This is a huge honor for me and my family. To tell you the truth, one that I never thought I'd be standing up here accepting. So thank you so much. I'm very humbled. Next, just talk about a little of my high school career. There's 3, obviously my family played a huge part in my career and just growing up. But there's 3 men, really, excuse me if I get emotional, try to hold up. Brett Wolf, who's being inducted tonight, Paul White, right here, and of course my father, Mike, who all coached me. Coach Wolf would tell you when I was growing up, I was a little bit of a squirrely kid. So they really kind of reined me in and got me on the path, and really are the catalyst for my success. Just a little funny story, I played football, basketball, and baseball. I really liked basketball, and wanted to play through high school. I played with my cousin Riley, and I remember after my sophomore year, I was like, I'm gonna grow. I was about 5'7", 120 pounds soaking wet, maybe, but said, if I grow a little bit, and I always thought I could shoot. Maybe not like EJ, but anyways, I remember showing up for tryouts junior year, and tryouts. We had like a scrimmage or something that day, and I put up like 17 points and like really quick, and I couldn't miss. Coming the next day and look at the list, and my name's not on it. It's like, well, what the heck? I'm way better than this kid. And next day, Tim Sam called me in, and Clankenhorn, and they go, I think you should just focus on baseball. I was like, well, I want to play basketball. Basketball sets me up for baseball. I like to play 3 sports. Anyways, I'm convinced to this day that Coach Wolf had something to do with it. No, but I think it was probably the best decision for me, and baseball is my true love. I enjoy it, and again, just my family has been so pivotal in my success, and not just my family, but this entire community. The support that you all have given me, I can't thank you enough. It is, I get texts from, I talk to my dad a lot, and he runs into people all over the valley, and, oh, this person, wants me to congratulate you, and so it really means the world to me. Even if I don't talk to you on a regular basis, I feel your love and support, and this community will always have a special place in my heart. I wanted to keep this short, so again, thank you so much for everyone coming out. Congratulations to all the inductees tonight. It's a tremendous honor to be inducted with you all, and on that note, I'm out.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Hey, we're gonna wake up. Damn, it's a finish line is here, and I'm gonna tell you, we can make it happen, baby. Just hang in there. All right, that's all we gotta do. You're all way too nice. When I start talking, I'm just gonna tell you this right now. I was already told. Bill and I, we both know. When any time we're told you get a minute or two, we're going to say, well, ring that bell as long as you want, baby, because we're going to tell you all that we got to say. And so, knowing that the night is getting long, I told Gary, he told me I had a minute. My last report was I had it down to 9 minutes and 30 seconds. And so, anyway, first and foremost, I want to begin by saying what an honor it is to be here and be part of the Medford Sports Hall of Fame. Most coaches don't get this opportunity to introduce their players as they're inducted into the Hall of Fame, so this is a very special evening for me. Again, I know we all want to go home, but I've been in education for 44 years. I was in education for 44 years. I'm a born and raised Oregonian, and I think that what Medford does for its high school athletes and kids in band and drama and everything is second to none. And often, especially today, that's overlooked. And I'm going to tell you, if there's anything that needs to be done right now, is you need to give yourself a huge round of applause for what you do and the level you continue to support these activities. So please, a round of applause for yourself. Over my 28 years as the head basketball coach at South Medford, I will always be the first one to say, man, did we have a lot of talent during that time. And because of that, we won a lot of games, had a lot of fun. I was a very fortunate person to be in the right place at the right time, and I count my blessings for that. So tonight, I'm here to introduce two of the very best players I had at South. People often say, Murph, list your all-time top 10 players in order. Not an easy task, but I will say this. I'm sure Kyle and EJ are very close to being the top 1 and 2. As I introduce both fine young men to you, I want to put out a statement that I do not intend to repeat myself and extend my speech while talking about EJ and Kyle. But rumor does have it, they do have some similarities. I'm going to begin by talking about and introducing EJ to you. I'm sure EJ would admit following in Kyle's footsteps was no easy task. But I can tell you, he fully embraced the situation, but at the same time, he truly forged his own path. EJ was first and foremost a tremendous competitor and a very tough-minded player. No matter what was going on, he was only interested in winning. And more importantly, he was willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish the win. Obviously, he was very skilled. And the skills continued to develop as he advanced through his career. EJ was a tremendous or great teammate. He got along with everyone, was liked by all players and coaches. As he grew older, he developed his leadership skills and led all his teams to great successes. EJ was and is a coach's dream. He had the entire package, and you'd like to have an EJ on every team he coached. Quick story. EJ's freshman year, hard to believe, he was the sixth man. Any other year, any other team, he starts. One of the most memorable moments for me was during EJ's freshman year. We were playing Mountain View of Bend in the round of 16. Winner goes to the final 8. That particular year, the playoffs were structured differently, so 2 number 1 teams from conference titles had to play each other. We had to travel to Bend. People waited outside 3 hours to get in the gym. The place was packed. It was going to be a great high school basketball game. However, Mountain View chooses to slow the game down to a stall. Not many people happy. Obviously, something I was not prepared for, nor was my team. The half ends 16-5. Whew, that's a barn burner for you. My starters struggled with the pace of the play. EJ Singler comes off the bench and ends up being our leading scorer at that time. He has 8 of our 16 points. We go on to win that night and end up winning or playing in the state championship in Eugene. That was just the beginning of many great things that will occur in EJ's storied basketball career. EJ did end up starting the next 3 years for the Panthers and had a terrific high school career. His sophomore year, he started for us and was a key ingredient to helping us win the 2007 6A state championship. EJ's senior year, he was the Southwest Conference Player of the Year, first team OSAA All-Tournament Team, the 2009 OSAA 6A Player of the Year, and the 2009 Oregon Gatorade Player of the Year. EJ then chose to become a Duck, where he took his talents, leadership skills, work ethic, and his ability to be a great teammate to another level. His senior year, he was chosen as a captain, where he was selected as a first team member of the All Pac-12 team and led the Ducks to the round of 16. After college, EJ spent the next 8 years of his career playing professional basketball, 3 years in the NBA, 5 years overseas. I would like to encourage all of you to read EJ's bio, as he had a terrific basketball career. And now, if you would join me in welcoming EJ Singler to the 2022 Hall of Fame. EJ?
I'm going to keep it short. If I just ramble, I'm going to be like George. All right. First, look at this room. This is amazing. This is what Medford Athletics is all about right here. You can just feel the love and support from everyone here. This is just awesome. Walking into a country club, just going down, seeing all the legends, it really puts into perspective, like, wow, it's just amazing that I'm part of the induction, and with everyone else, with all the other 10 people getting inducted tonight, it's just an honor. So I just want to first congratulate all the inductees tonight. Like I said, it's a special night for all of us, and I'm sure we're all gonna remember this night for a long time. So I'll be the first to acknowledge that accomplishments like this just don't happen. A lot of hard work and discipline go into it, but without the love and support from those around you, I truly believe I wouldn't be standing up here with you tonight. So I want to thank those people in my life that influenced me, taught me, and pushed me in the right direction. So first and foremost, I want to thank my wife, Bryn. She's been through it all, from high school to college and into the pros. As you can imagine, a lot of highs and lows throughout, you know, a professional athlete. So she was a great sounding board for me, my wingman, wherever we went. And I mean, she went to friggin' Estonia with me first year overseas. So to me, that's true love. I don't think you ever miss a game. You know, if she could be there, she was there. She always put me first. She encouraged me into pursuing, you know, my basketball dream, and I truly believe she extended my career as long as I did, because without her overseas, there could have been some lonely nights. So I thank you more than you know. To my parents, Ed and Chris, you're nothing but amazing. You guys instilled a spirit in me, a competitiveness, and you taught me how to play the right way. You both were huge proponents of how sports were the greatest teacher in life, and I couldn't agree more with that statement. In my opinion, the most important gift you can give to your child is being present, and you guys embodied that word to the fullest. So thank you. To my sister Katie, you're the rock of our family. You're my biggest fan, always have been. You would never want to get in between her and her brothers. That's her nature. She believed in us probably more than we believed in ourselves. And I could always count on you being our loudest cheerleader in the stands, so thank you. To my brother Kyle, he was my role model growing up. Wanted to be just like him. He was a great example for me. He paved the way. He made it possible for me to dream. If I put in the work, I knew I could accomplish anything just seeing him before me. So, special gift that he gave to the community. I really truly believe that you know, he blessed the community with hope. So thank you for that. To Josh Jameson, he couldn't make it tonight, but Josh was like a second brother to me. He was part of the South Medford my freshman and sophomore year, and then he was at Oregon my 4 years there. But he was key into my success at Oregon, and just the transition from high school to college was a huge step for me, and he took me under his wing and really carried me and showed me what it took to be a successful collegiate athlete, and then you know, on to the pros. So I give a lot of credit to him in taking me under his wing and showing me the ropes and showing me how to work hard and do all the extra work. And lastly, like I said, I want to keep this short. To my two high school coaches, Dennis Murphy and Bill Singler, you both set the bar super high for me. Building a strong foundation early on was instrumental in my success, and in my opinion, you are two of the best coaches I ever had that could coach the fundamentals, but even better than that, you guys coached the game of life, and you guys created men more than just being a coach in sports. So I appreciate that, and thank you again for this honor, Medford Hall of Fame. I really appreciate it. And this is not a personal award in any matter. I believe this is a shared accomplishment, not only with the people I mentioned, but everyone in Medford. So, thank you.
One famous line we all know, I'm back. Your lucky night. Not one dose of Murph, but two. That's like winning the lottery. Well, it may not be as good, but it's a close second. Or you could be an official and go, damn, I got another Murph games tonight. Anyway, before I continue with the next inductee, I'd like to take a moment to call to everyone's attention something that makes this even a more special evening. Tonight, with EJ and Kyle's induction, they will be joining their father, Ed, their uncle, Bill, football coach at South Medford, former mayor of Medford, Grandpa, Papa, Bill Singler, and great-grandfather, Rudy Singler, former sheriff of Jacksonville. 4 generations, what a legacy this family of athletes left in this community. Please join me in a big round of applause. You know, it's like somebody said when I was walking in today, those 2 Singler boys, they're tough to beat. And I think that whole Singler family is tough to beat. Okay, let's start by solving the mystery. Who is the #1 player Murph was talking about? I know this is going to shock you, but as our beloved B.G. Gould says, Murph, it's the big unit. Yes, it is Kyle. For me anyway, Kyle is easily the best basketball player I ever had the opportunity to coach. I would even take it a step further and say he must be one of the best players to ever play basketball in the history of Medford schools, probably in the state of Oregon. However, his Uncle Bill, Ed, might argue that. Chris told me, Murph, no argument needed. In sharing a little about Kyle in his early years at South, one thing it took me a while to understand was the fact that his parents, Chris and Ed, were 2 of the nicest people you could ever meet. And that was not necessarily Kyle at all. He was what I would call one ornery guy. Some may take that as a bad thing, but I believe it's essential. It is an essential trait for an athlete to possess. If you're truly going to compete at the highest level in your sport, to me, it means you're extremely mentally tough and they play the game with great physicality. Kyle displayed those traits every time he stepped on the court. Those traits, as well as being very skilled, possessing a great work ethic, an understanding of the game of basketball better than most, tells you why Kyle became the great player that he did. Kyle accomplished many great things during his career. I would encourage you to read his bio for all the specifics. But for me, one thing stands out among the rest. His senior year at South Medford. Kyle starts all 4 years at South, plays on some really good teams. He was part of 110 wins and 10 losses. As a matter of fact, Kyle's junior year may have been the best team I ever had at South. Our top 6 players, ranging in height from 6'3" to 6'8", all went on to play major college basketball, and each player had plenty of successes at that level. So you would think you must have won the state championship. I wish. We did not. Kevin Love, damn him anyway, and Lake Oswego defeated us in the championship game, we were all devastated. Honestly, I thought if we cannot win a state championship with that group, it's probably not going to happen. Well, Kyle felt differently about that. He put our team on his back, quietly went to work, and gave the South Medford community and the city of Medford one of the greatest rides it would ever be part of. We know what led us to the 2007 6A state championship. It was magical. 9,000 plus screaming fans at Mac Court and 8,000 pulling for the Panthers. It was a night to remember. But to me, the real magic was Kyle realizing he needed to step up and become the leader of his team. That was someone out of his comfort zone. If he and we were going to win a state championship, it had to be on his watch. He would need to encourage his teammates to work harder, become better, play smarter, and outwork every opponent, every facet of the game. Kyle truly embraced this and challenge and led the Panthers to their first ever men's basketball title, a title that had not occurred in Medford since 1961. In doing so, Kyle finished the #1 scorer and rebounder in South Medford history. He finished his career as the 6th leading scorer in the state history. He was the 2006 and 2007 Southwest Conference Player of the Year, the 2007 OSAA 6A Co-Player of the Year, was selected as a McDonald's, a Nike, a Parade, and a USA Today All-American. He was chosen to play in the McDonald's All-Star Game as well as the Jordan Classic. Kyle then took his talents to Duke University, where again he left his mark in basketball history, in the basketball history books in many ways. He started all 4 years and was the ACC Rookie of the Year, twice All-ACC First Team, 3 times All-ACC Tournament First Team, a 2-time All-American, and was very instrumental in helping the Blue Devils win a national title in 2010, where he was named the most outstanding player of the Final Four. Kyle was the 33rd draft pick in the 2011 NBA draft by the Detroit Pistons. His professional career extended over 8 years, 6 being in the NBA and 2 years in Spain. What a contribution, what a player, what an athlete. I'm sorry to say that Kyle's not here tonight, but to accept his award for him is his brother EJ.
On behalf of Kyle, I want to thank the Medford Hall of Fame for inducting him into the Hall of Fame. I mean, his accolades kind of speak for himself. So, yeah, it's a great honor for our family. And like I said, I think what he created in Medford has been awesome. And like I said, that the hope and the dreams, and if you put forth the work, I feel like having a guy like that looking to you can accomplish your goals, and having someone that has made it like that, like I said, I feel like it's just a great honor, and it's something to look forward to, and for other kids to aspire to, and like I said, thank you.
Murph, you got a lot of energy, dude. Down to the last 2. I talked to Coach Wolf before this, and he says, "Am I going last?" I said, "Yeah." Not too many last names end with X, Y, and Z, so being a W, he gets a last slot several times in his life anyway. Anyway, I have the great honor of introducing the next 2022 Hall of Fame inductee. Coach Wolf played baseball as a Black Tornado in high school. He He began his Black Tornado coaching career in 1987 under fellow Hall of Fame head coach Jim McAfee. He became the head coach in 1995, retiring in 2019 after over 33 years in a Black Tornado uniform. In 25 years as a head coach, Coach Wolf's teams were a combined 494 wins to 198 losses for a career 7-14 winning percentage. His teams won 9 conference titles and 2 state championships in 2007 and 2014. His teams qualified for the state playoffs a remarkable 24 of his 25 seasons. During his tenure, Coach Wolf was selected as League Coach of the Year, State Coach of the Year, Regional Coach of the Year, and Head Coach of the State Metro All-Star Series. Coach Wolf was instrumental in diversifying single-A Legion baseball in Medford and the surrounding area, as well as developing junior state baseball and the creation of middle school baseball, which is still going strong. After the high school seasons ended, Coach Wolf spent his summers coaching the single-A Medford Mavericks, earning 5 state championships, 5 regional appearances, and 1 regional runner-up finish. He was selected 5 times as the single-A Legion Coach of the Year. Needless to say, Coach Wolf is very well respected across the state and the region. One of the things I know Coach Wolf took great pride in was the upgrades, development, and upkeep of the North Medford baseball field, building it into one of the finest high school facilities in the state. Coach Wolf spent an ungodly amount of time working on the field. If you ever drove by, you saw his truck there. Coach Wolf, you've had a tremendous impact. You've had a tremendous coaching career, but you've also had a tremendous impact on the thousands of student athletes that you've had the opportunity to coach and teach, myself included. Coach, it's a great honor to follow in your footsteps, but it's an even bigger honor to welcome you to the Medford Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you. Congratulations.
Mike Reagan, I got one for you. I've been an educator for 32 years, and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is why I line up in my classroom Z to A. So they always say they save the best for last. But the committee got that wrong tonight. A couple things real quick. There's a lot of people I'd like to thank, and I'll get that in order. I'll be fairly quick because I turned 60 this year, and I don't know if I can stay up much longer. But anyway, I'd like to, I'm a Medford guy. I watched David speak, and I saw the passion in him speaking, and I'm a Medford guy through and through. I went to Seaside because I like the beach. It's real hard for me to like the school because my heart is here. And it's not red, it is red and it is blue because Bill Singler is a good friend of mine, and I still hit Table Rock Sports, thanks Joe Brett, and I check out the games and I'm watching them and I'm following them, and I love Medford sports. And when he talks about the passion that he spoke about, and I can see that in his heart, that's me. Because most of you know, well, I almost didn't come today, and then I decided to come today. Then I almost didn't come today, then I decided to come. Most of you know that's me making fun of myself at the number of times that I said I'm going to retire and then return, retire and then return. And the reason that's hard is because the passion, the love that you feel. It was time for me, but at the same time, I never wanted to let go. So what I appreciate is David's passion, the same that I have. And guys like Bill Singler, they're around. The old Medford guys. I mean, I still remember Ed Singler hitting Lenny Griggs down the sideline in 1977. 7-7 score. That's in my heart. I never missed a game until I moved and I hit that button every time. And even though I'm at another school, I hit that button. My heart will always be there.
So, and it started that way when my parents were young, or when I was young, and they told me we're moving to Eagle Point, or because they wanted property. And as a young kid, I'm going, I ain't going to Eagle Point. You know, I'm going, okay, I could go play at Eagle Point, or I could sit the bench at Medford. I sat the bench at Medford. And I was happy about it. I'm very happy about it, because I was under some great coaches. And one of those things, Coach McAfee, what wonderful foresight that guy had. Wonderful foresight. He knew I was going to coach and throw BP for the rest of my life. So he rested me my high school career. Absolutely. He rested me, kept me nice and loose. And to this day, my shoulder thanks him. Every day I go. So, but anyway, as we move forward, I appreciate all the coaches. One of the things that I was grateful for in my time coaching here is that when we rolled in a bus. And that bus said Medford on one side in red and said Medford in blue on the other side. Just like David Passion, Medford is Medford. And when you rolled in there, especially in the playoffs, you had the passion. You were making a statement. That bus meant something. It meant something, and that's something that I hope this committee and we do, because this is very important, because Medford cannot go away. Guys that stood up here tonight, I congratulate you. But this is Medford, and my home and my heart will always be here. It's one of the most outstanding places to be. I'd like to thank my coaches. I'd like to make this real quick announcement as far as I'd like to bring these guys to the forefront. Coach Kensinger, who has passed. We lost Ron Primazine 2 months ago, a great Medford guy, wonderful person. And then we lost Loretta Knorr, who, if some of you know, she was the Linda White of her era. Linda, you know, is a big supporter. I asked her here tonight because she's a big part of me. And Loretta Knorr was, for those of you that knew her, know what she was with Medford and how she brought the heart and soul in that woman. So I'd like to acknowledge her tonight for that. I'd also like to thank my other coaches, Coach Fawcett, Coach White, Coach Shipley, Coach Maven, Coach King, Coach Rostel, Coach Salomoni, and apparently Coach Kenny White. Real quickly, the things that you're reading in there, they had to type that up. I hated typing that thing up because it says I, and I did nothing. It was always a we. So when I look at Coach White and Coach Shipley and the guys in the community, it was a we. This thing that says I, that's not my style. It's a we, and with that we, I'd like to thank all those guys. We wouldn't have the restrooms that we have at North Medford if it wasn't for Paul White. We wouldn't have the fence signs and all that stuff that they did. I may get credit for that. I just stood back and said, oh, okay, let's do that. And then we just did it. Joe Salmon, he was out there with his equipment, putting in power poles and stuff. That was back in the day when we didn't have to ask permission. That's kind of the reason I think they wanted me out of there. There's a lot of times we did stuff that, it's better ask for forgiveness, that kind of thing. It is what it is. Lastly, I would like to thank my family, because my kids up and moved 18 times. Because if I needed money to dump in the field, we sold the house. That's the way it worked. And then my wife, if I came home at 9 o'clock, she'd say, what are you doing here so early? I'd say, holy cow, I gotta come home. And then next year we'll be married 40 years. And I would like to thank the players that came here today. The reason you coach is for the players that showed up today. Logan Odom sold my house before I left. The detail, the character, the integrity, the follow-up, the precise way he went about his business, the professionalism. I'd like to think I had part of that. He has great parents. But I got to take that and take it to another level with him on a field during the times that I got to coach him. And if you need a realtor, that's your guy. Finally, I would like to thank my kids, my friends who had to, times without me. A lot of people say that's a good thing. But the times without me that I couldn't be there for birthday parties or whatever it was, I'd like to thank them for still being around. And I'd like to thank you for staying and staying awake. So anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Appreciate the committee. And whatever happens next, I'm not sure, but let's make it quick so I don't fall asleep.
One to go. Jerry Allen. Jerry, we had transportation for Jerry to get down here tonight after that great win over UCLA this afternoon, but it just didn't work out. But I do believe we have a video, and are we going to hear from him?
Joe's got the video.
Yeah, we're going to play a video. Jerry was raised in Southern Oregon, and in high school, he got an opportunity as an intern to do a play-by-play on a high school football game, and he got hooked. So he kicked around in Eugene and Medford as a DJ. Then in 1970, he started working at KYJC and was the lead at that radio station. In 17 years, it's funny, things overlap in life, and it's nice, because Randy's talking about when Jerry helped him with a fundraiser to get some money that he sorely needed for athletics. And here they are they're being inducted the same night in the Medford Sports Hall of Fame. Jerry not only did it for Randy, he did it for $1.2 million of fundraising during his 17 years on the radio. He helped out a lot of people. And one of the ways he did it, you probably remember, he created the Tanglefoot Five. Remember the Tanglefoot Five? Basketball team. I always considered myself a fairly decent basketball player. I wanted to be on that team, but I could never beat Peter Morday or Al Honorary. Jerry said, sorry. Anyhow, he started in the 17 years, he broadcast live over 400 football games, 1,000 basketball games, and countless baseball games. He moved on to the Oregon Ducks, became the voice of the Ducks in 1987. He is the longest tenured radio play-by-play football broadcaster in the Pac-12. He's tied with the broadcaster from Arizona, 37 years. It's amazing. He's broadcasted 3 Rose Bowl championships, 2 NCAA national championship football games, and 4 Elite 8 and 1 Final Four basketball championship during March Madness. He was selected for 13 consecutive seasons by the OSAA for the highest level of high school championships. His record still remains. He was selected in 2017 for the Sports Broadcaster of the Year by the Oregon Broadcasters, the highest professional recognition in Oregon to honor newspaper, magazine, TV, radio, and electronic media professionals. In 2019, he was selected by the Oregon Association of Broadcasters as Oregon Broadcast Heritage Award winner. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Jerry Allen, a friend of mine, to the 2022 class of the Medford Sports Hall of Fame.
Well, hello to all my friends and family in Medford. I so wish I could be there for this unbelievable honor. With a football game going on, my career still going on, I had to go where I had to go. But I just cannot thank the Medford Sports Hall of Fame committee for nominating me. Mark Bayless, Dick Anniger, I know you guys have a lot to do with that, but I've got a list of names of people to thank and just my history there and what I've done that we're going to be here till midnight, so I imagine BG would be the only one left when I finally finish. I understand that. But it all started for me when I was in high school. A guy named Cliff Wayne gave me an opportunity while I was helping him do stats at a Grants Pass basketball game. He said, jump on the microphone, do a little play-by-play. I did, and I was hooked. I became a DJ after that for several years. And then it was around 1974 at KYJC that Bob Cook, who was the general manager, said, you know, we want to do some high school play-by-play. We're not going to just play music. And we're going to do the Creative Comments. And Jerry Allen, we want you to do the play-by-play. So that was the start. Chet Bowser was the head coach at Crater, and they accepted me in. It was just so much fun for the 2 years we were there. But then somebody at KYJC said, we're a Medford station. We need to carry Medford Black Tornado. Now, it was already being done, Tom McLeod and KMED. But they said they wanted to do it, wanted to compete. Tom McLeod was a gentleman. He's the voice of the Medford Black Tornado that I get to come on and be a part of. We competed against each other, and he was just, he was a mentor. He didn't compete against me or fight me or was mean to me because I was trying to take their audience. He helped me, and I'll never forget that. But it was really the family around me. Radio station, well, I'll get into this because it's never one guy. It's never me. My broadcast team for a high school game, Mark Bayless on the sideline with a wireless mic. In the early 70s, nobody was doing that in the nation, not even in college. We had a wireless mic. Mark Bayless was fantastic. Bruce Holt was in the booth with me, my analyst, and BG Gold's my statistician. Without BG, in high school, you don't have stats, you don't have a game. So we were able to pull it off, and we also did it with a guy that was, we call him our equipment guy, but he was actually on the air, and when I left, took over as the play-by-play voice of the Black Tornado, Kevin Martin. You know him as Lurch. When you're 6'11", you kind of adapt that name. We were good. We were really good. It wasn't just me. And I'll never, ever be able to thank those guys enough for helping me get to where I am today, because I am where I am today because of those men. And the women and the other staff members at KYJC. It was a family. And then, of course, the coaches and the players. All we do is sit and talk about what we see. It's the players who play the game and just bust their rears to win games and be proud for their family and their community. And to be a part of that, it doesn't get any better. Fred Spiegelberg, again, accepted me sort of like a son because he wanted to give me every opportunity to know everything about his team so that I could talk about him on the radio. It was an unbelievable time. It's why I am where I am today. As a voice of the Ducks, I would not be here had it not been for my family around me. Mark, Lurch, Bruce, BG, all you guys in my staff at KYJC. That's why I got to be where I am today. It's family. And then the other family, my wife. I was gone so much with 3 children. She raised those kids. I was there once in a while to say good morning. Well, rarely. But without a wife, 51 years strong now, I'm not here. So many people to thank. So many people that I just absolutely love and miss. So when I say the job I have now is remarkable. Final Fours, championship football games and playoffs, it's something else. But the best years of my life were with you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.